You just changed the goalpost. I thought we were talking about a partnership. Didn't you say a 5-year service contract? He sounded confused, didn't he? Why? Because the other party was not very clear about his goals and intentions. He seemed to have been submerged in the whole situation. The situation was controlling him, instead of him controlling the situation. And how do you control the situation? By stating clearly upfront your aims and procedures. And if the negotiation is in English, you need to know the English language also. And in this video, we're going to look at those chunks specifically. In fact, we're going to look at 4 things in this video. The first steps, the leader, the specific expressions that you can use to cover the various situations. And 4, of course, we're going to look at a sample conversation between 2 people where we will be using almost all these chunks that we're going to learn today practically. By the end of this video, you're going to learn how to declare your goals and procedures assertively and with complete clarity so that you retain control of the situation. Now, I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm just an English teacher. So I don't have the bells and whistles to, keep you engaged in this video. But as an English teacher, I'm going to tell you just one thing. Watch this video right till the end. Why? Because in this video, as is the case with every other video that I have on this channel, you will get to learn a lot of chunks, expressions, grammar, vocabulary, etc. that will take your English to the next level, towards perfection. And if you like this video, do hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can share these videos as many times as you want. No issues. Let's start. First of all, we're going to look at the first step. What's the first step? See, it's more like a homework. Now, before you go into the negotiating room or negotiation room, you got to do 2 things first. You've got to determine your goals for yourself. What your goals are, what your aims are, what your intentions are, and the procedures you're going to attain those goals. Second thing, you should be in a position to clarify these things, put it in front of the other person clearly and assertively. So you've got to prepare for that as well. So while setting your goals, you've got to look at a few things here. First of all, you should know what your ideal outcome of that negotiation is going to be. What's the minimum acceptable outcome that you need to continue with the negotiations? And what you think is a practical outcome. You're forecasting these things. And if this fails, the second thing is going to be a plan B. You need to have a plan B if plan A fails. Third, you need to know what you need and what the other party needs. Why? So that, and as a 4th bit, you arrive at a win-win situation, never a win-lose situation. Why? I'll give you an example. Pure, simple arithmetic. Suppose you are worth 10 and the other party is also worth 10 and you enter into an agreement. So if it's a win-win agreement, your agreement is going to be 10 and 10 more than 20. Okay? But if it's going to be a win-lose situation, so you will have 10, the other party will have minus 10, so the outcome is going to be 0. So always aim for a win-win situation. Otherwise, that's a 0-sum game, the most dangerous game ever. But that's a subject of a different video altogether. You find professionals for that as well. We are going to look at, in this video, the English language elements, the chunks that we need to express our intentions and goals clearly. But before that, I'd like to state one thing. Who is going to use this chunk and when? See, technically speaking, the person who starts this negotiation process will have to use it. And not just in the beginning. That's the answer to the second question, when. Maybe throughout the negotiation process, you may have to reinforce these things. So it's going to continue. So who's going to start the negotiations? It could be the buyer, it could be the seller. In other words, see, let's look at an example. A company has a project in mind and it calls a consultant to help it. So obviously the company is the one who's going to start the negotiations because it has all the information. But situation 2, when the consultant has an idea and it comes and tells the company, look, you have this problem, I've just seen that, and we have a solution. So the company is going to say, all right, you got the information, you start the negotiation. So the negotiation can be started by either the seller or the buyer, but that is not going to determine who gets the upper hand. That simply determines who gets to spell out the aims, goals, and procedures. So let's look at those chunks straight away. We have 6 chunks here, depending on the situation that you're going to face at this stage of the interview, of the negotiation, sorry. Let's look at them. These situations normally relate to discussing something, stating the procedure, for instance, that you'd like to follow, establishing certain things like facts or situations, seeking information, spelling out your objectives, clarifying intentions. Let's look at each one of them one by one. I'm going to give you the situation, I'm going to give you the chunk, and then I'm going to give you the example, a practical example of how to use that chunk language-wise. Let's start. The first situation is when you want to tell that person that you're going to discuss something. The idea is to tell him that I want to discuss this. What I'd like to discuss is, or what I wish to talk about is, these are the 2 chunks. Let's look at how to use them practically. What I'd like to discuss is how you could contribute to this objective. What I wish to talk about is the point of technology transfer. So the second situation that you might face is when you're going to state the procedure that you wish to follow to achieve your goals. Let's look at the chunks. What I'm planning to do is, we'll need to establish actually means to settle. Establish certain facts or certain situations. Maybe you want to know something, etc. We'll look at that soon. What I'm planning to do is, first off, expand our services to the Asian markets in the first phase. First off means in the first instance. Note, it is first off and not first of with a single F. The second chunk, we need to establish the inflection point. Inflection point is a jargon here. It means the point where you have to take another action, a different set of actions, or a point where things change. For instance, let's say your sales are going like this, and after the new steps are put in place, the sales could turn up. So this is the inflection point where it turns. There's a point of inflection. And when you know the point of inflection, that's the time you'll need for these steps to start revealing its benefits, or for you to start reaping the benefits of whatever you have done. That's a point of inflection. The earlier that comes, the better it is for you. Now, if you're planning to explain something, you've said something and you find a big question mark on the other person's head, hovering, you can know that from the face. Then you're going to explain it. So you tell that person that you're going to explain something. Just say that. Just tell them that you're going to explain. The chunks are, let me explain, let me elaborate, let me clarify. Let's see how to use them practically. At this point, we are exploring possibilities. Let me explain. This is an idea floated by our CEO. The outcome of this meeting will determine our next step. Let me explain. See, the idea is this was floated by the CEO. We are exploring the possibilities, and if you sound good enough, plausible enough, then we're going to hire you straight away, no questions asked. So I'm explaining that to the person that we haven't brought you here for nothing. Now, if you need some information, let's look at the chance. What I need to know is, What I'm looking for is. These are the two chunks that you can use because you want some information, you need to know something, or you're looking for information. Look at the body language also, okay? Let's see how to use it practically. What I need to know is whether you're willing to work in partnership or as an outside consultant. What I'm looking for is a detailed proposal from you. Now, another situation is when you're going to spell out your objectives. Let's look at the chunks. What I'm aiming to achieve is. What I have in mind is. See, I'm aiming to achieve something. That's my objective. That's what I have in mind. Two ways of saying the same thing. Let's look at its practical use. What I'm aiming to achieve is a zero inventory loss. What I have in mind is garnering a 25% market share over the next 5 years. That is what I'm looking at. That's my aim. 25% of the market share over the next 5 years. What I'm looking for? My aim. There. Now, there could be situations where you have to clarify your intentions. Same as that elaborate, clarified thing. The third set of chunks that we saw. Almost same, but there is a slight difference. You will know that when you start using it. Let's start. The chunks. Let me clarify. Just so that we are clear on this, let me emphasize. So you're again clarifying, emphasizing, you're saying, all right, there seems to be a confusion with you. Let me just be clear on this. So you're clarifying again. Or let me emphasize. See how to practically use them. Just so that we are clear on this, we are planning to talk with other companies as well. So, just so that we are clear, we are planning to talk. You're not the only person I'm going to talk to or talk with. I'm going to talk with other people as well. Another one. Let me emphasize, we are not averse to a joint venture. Now, what this means is, I am emphasizing on the fact that you want a joint venture. I'm fine with that. I got no problems. And I'm emphasizing that. So there should be no confusion. So these are some of the chunks that you can use because these are some of the situations that you're going to face during the negotiation process, in the beginning especially. But you'll find these situations throughout the negotiation process, right till the end. Now let's look at a sample conversation here. Okay, Monica, let me explain what we are trying to do. Like I mentioned the last time we spoke, we are looking for a complete package deal on inventory optimization.
So, what you're saying is you need just one party to take care of your inventory program.
That's the broad idea. Let me clarify. Right now, we are merely exploring possibilities. We haven't finalized anything yet. What we need to establish is whether a computerized inventory control system would eliminate losses due to pilferage and over or under stocking. And why did we choose you? Because we got some excellent references from RK Global Limited.
And what you're looking for is a build, operate, transfer agreement.
Not quite. What we have in mind is a partnership, or better still, a joint venture. How would you be able to work with us as our distribution arm? We are looking at a Pan-Asian exposure in the first phase.
Obviously, cost is the bottom line. You'll surely need information on our process and after-sales services.
We certainly need all that, but what is important now is whether we'd be able to work together in the long run.
Are you also planning to speak with other service providers?
Just so that we are clear, we will certainly be talking to 3 or 4 other parties. After all, competition is a healthy concept here, wouldn't you agree? There are lots of other chunks as well that you're going to use for lots of other situations. We'll look at them in later videos. For now, bye-bye. Don't forget to watch this video over and over again till you are strong with these chunks. See you later. Thank you for watching this video, liking it and subscribing to our channel. We'll see you in the next video. Until then.